everyone, AmberFrmThVault here. Welcome back to more Medieval Dynasty. We're going to jump right back in, so see you back in just a second. All right, I took a quick break there just to take some photos because I really like those little strange deer figures, and I am going to mess with them pretty soon. All right, so there we go. That's clay deposit 1. Another one. All right, I didn't mean to keep going, but I did. And then, you know, I'm actually going to leave the mysterious deer figures for now. The ones that are there, at least. I'm not going to leave them all, though. We are going to grab some. I'm going to grab this one and this one. All right. Do the clay deposit again. Since we're back here, I know we're going to get more than we actually need. But sometimes when you dig up the clay deposits, you can find things. Like I found jewelry in them before and stuff. And that's worth selling. I don't think I've ever found any here, though. When I think of it, it's always been other clay deposits. Like the ones outside of Gustovia seem to be good for that. But, all right, we'll stop now because I think we have too much clay on us as it is. Talk to him. All right, you have it? Here, all the clay you wanted. Will you finish the story now? All right, we're gonna take another stab at this. I apologize. The text, the font here, I don't want to turn it off. There is a dyslexia font option. I don't want to turn it off though, because it has that like style that goes with the game, and the dyslexia font is quite ugly in most games. I purposely really like it because it makes it easier for me to read, but I do struggle with reading some of these things, so I apologize about that. So let's try again. All right. So as I've already said, Jordan wasn't much of a fighter back then, but he didn't have any money nor connections. He did have one thing, an unusual ability. You see, from an early age, Jordan was an exceptionally good liar. No sweaty palms, no voice cracks, no tells really. Calm, steady breaths, eye contact held all the way. Which, isn't that a sociopath? But anyway, he eventually managed to handle any kind of pressure, even in the craziest of situations. But it wasn't that at first. He felt no pressure lying, no stress at all. It was natural for him as breathing. He had absolutely no remorse. Let's just listen. He doesn't want us to interrupt him. He came up with a plan so immensely moronic and unrealistic that it's really hard to believe that it worked out so perfectly. At first, he convinced the nearby town's tailor to sew him a whole set of clothes worthy of the most wealthy nobleman. The finest of fabrics, silken threads, you name it, horrendously expensive. So how did he manage to afford it, you may ask? It's simple. He just didn't pay for it. So he stole it. I said no such thing. Jordan wasn't a thief. Not in the traditional meaning of the word, at least. Apart from that, did I finish the damn story? Huh. While wearing his new clothes, he traveled to the castle of the king of that realm and entered it. Okay. Now I know you're making this all up because that's impossible. You're right, it is. It's mad to even consider trying to pull it off. But Jordan just walked straight in. I don't blame you for doubting me. Damn, I would have been the first to doubt a thing like that if I didn't see him doing it hundreds of times later with my own eyes. Anyway, he walked right into the castle, and once he was there, he followed through with his plan, which was betting his wife. Whose wife? The king's. The king's wife? Mm-hmm. So the queen. Indeed. So let me get this straight. The plan was to get into the castle and lay with the queen. Exactly that. You're right. This is the most absurd, idiotic plan I've ever heard of. I told you, but it worked like a charm. I still don't get it. What worked? What was accomplished by that? After the lovemaking, he dressed up, deliberately leaving his undergarments on the bedside, and told the queen he'll be right back with some refreshments. Then he went to one of the king's guards and told him that he saw the queen in the company of a strange man sneaking into one of the chambers. The guards rushed in and witnessed the king naked in bed with men's clothing right next to her. As a loyal servant, the guard reported the matter directly to the king himself, who, as you can probably imagine, became furious to say the least. He couldn't really punish his wife. That would be bad for his reputation, but he could pursue her lover. Unfortunately for him, at this point, Jordan was long gone from the castle, riding a beautiful bay mare he borrowed from the stables into the sunset. I still don't get it. You see, the king didn't catch the filthy seducer, but it didn't mean he couldn't track him down and find him. To do so, the only track he could follow was the name was the one thing that Jordan left behind, except his undergarments and a pleasurable memory for the queen, was his name. Not his real name, of course. The name he used when introducing himself to the queen was the Lord of the Orchards. Precisely. Now you get it. Ah, that's incredible. The Lord must have left the... beheaded him. You know, we're gonna ask, didn't that get the Lord hanged? That seems pretty extreme. It didn't get him killed. That wouldn't be Jordan's style. The queen begged for his life to be spared, so the king threw him in the dungeon where he spent all the days he had left. But wouldn't the queen see him and be like, that's not the guy I fucked? Like, I guess... Oh, I just smacked my microphone. I would think that she would be like, that's not the dude. But anyway. Jordan was amazing. All that and just the power of his wits and speech. He surely showed the Lord that he shouldn't have wronged him. Don't get it wrong. Jordan didn't go through with all of this just because of what the Lord did to him. You see, the Lord was a cruel, merciless brute. He mistreated all of his subjects and killed for fun, raped for sport. People used to call him Laundryman because one of his habits was drowning the bastards in the lake right after birth. His bastards. I read, and that changes that sentence completely. Oh boy, like unwanted kittens. Okay, look, don't fucking drown your kittens. I know that's a thing. And if you're just learning this from the first time, I'm sorry that you had to learn this from a YouTube video, but I know that's a thing, but don't do that. What the fuck? Anyway, Jordan needed to stop him, and he did, but that's not the end of the story. After the Lord's capture, someone had to take his place. He didn't have any rightful successors, but then, just with an uncannily perfect timing, came a distant cousin of the Lord's, a charming young man with 2 different eyes. You gotta be kidding me. He easily acquired all possessions of his sentenced relative, but Jordan didn't want any of that, not for himself, so he took only 3 bags of coins from the treasury. He left everything else in the hands of the peasants. They were elated. He is still probably worshipped there, I can tell you that. Oh, and one more thing. Why 3 bags, you may ask? That's easy. 1 for the tailor and 1 for the stableman he took the horse from, and the last one for himself, with the exact amount of coins he was rightfully supposed to earn for his work at the orchard. I told you Jordan wasn't a thief. Yeah, I guess, and he wasn't, I guess. He mounted his beautiful mare and left the realm, continuing his adventures. At least that's the story he used to tell us. So nothing of that may be true at all. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, but that's how it was with Jordan. Now I understand what you and Unigos are talking about. He seems surreal, or I can't believe you're talking about my uncle. My mother used to portrait him. I have read this multiple times because I've played this game quite a bit, and portrait him confuses me. Portray him differently is the way we would say it. Is that maybe a UK thing? I don't know. Yeah, I was wondering if he actually was mortal many times. Well, now we know. But wait, you didn't tell me what the purpose was of the Undying Fist. Oh, I thought it was obvious now. On the day Jordan's mission was born, he knew that the spoiled, rotten elites that were scattered all around the world, sorry, the Robin Hood in him is very strong, draining life and dignity from the hard-working simple folk, and that he was capable of stopping them, to some extent at least. So that's exactly what he started doing, overthrowing corrupted lords and giving back to the community. He sounds like a hero, a true hero. Well, it wasn't like, I mean, he... Yeah, I guess you could say that. So how did you join the pack? Jordan was working solo until he met Unigos. That rat's agile fingers could work where Jordan's tongue didn't. And phrasing. And then they needed someone with other talents they were lacking, like strength, manliness, bravery, independence, gallantry, integrity. Right, I get the picture. So they recruited the best there was. I was. Between jobs at the time. So I gave them a chance, and finally the pack started to really make a difference. But I don't like to brag. Let's say, oh yes, humble to the bone. Thank you for noticing. People at my level don't need to boast about our skills, just like the sun doesn't need to prove it's bright. Anyhow, I already spoke more words to you than I did in the last 5 years to anybody, so it's time for you to go, and preferably, oh, don't come back ever. Yep, don't come back. It was a great pleasure and a true honor. Yeah, I don't care. Leave now. And in return for giving away my location, deliver this delicious meal to Unigos. It's his favorite, a knuckle sandwich. Do you want me to hit him in the face? Did I stutter? No, sir. Of course, sir. On my way, sir. Yeah, we can also just wait till he goes to sleep and then steal all his shit. Because I think it's worth it. I love stealing people's stuff. I almost said stealing people's shit, and then I was like, that was going to come off wrong. We are going to potentially, let's see if we can actually ask him about it now. I don't know if we can, but I want to ask him a question. Sambor, I found some strange figurines lying in the clay. A couple of them, actually. Who allowed you to take it? It's none of your business. Well, it's so hideous I couldn't help myself, or I had to. Such fine art should not be covered in mud. That's the one I'm going to go with, of course. You really think so? Sambor, it's honestly good work. Why would you throw it away? It's stupid. It's not. You should be proud of it. I certainly would. I even tried to make a living out of it. What happened? In the whole valley, there is really only one person that deals with artwork and ornaments of different sorts. Getting to work with her sets you really nicely in the business, but without her, you're nobody. And the main problem is that she's a complete and utter Sambor bloodsucker. All she cares about is money. I tried to cut some deal with her, but I had better luck negotiating with murderous degenerates. So the only thing those carvings are good for now is lying in the mud. Maybe I could speak to her. Be my guest. Her name is Fenena. She lives in Denica. Fenena from Denica. I'll try to talk some sense into her. Here, grab 20 more figurines if you feel lucky. I have tons of them. Don't lose hope, Sambor. I'll see what I can do. Yay! Okay, so we're done with that. We have officially seen Sambor. We can also go do the Fenica quest. It is interesting, to say the least. I will put it that way. It'll become something that we do later, I think. I don't want to... Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. We'll do it later. All right, I'm going to throw a couple more in here, and then let's do extraction knowledge. I think that's probably good. Okay. So we are either going to need to stay the night somewhere or make it back to Baranica. We really only have a couple options. Now, the problem is we are definitely over encumbered, but more importantly, we are dirty and it is almost nighttime and we are in a potentially dangerous area. We can already see the fireflies. The boars are probably going to be here soon. The way the forest lit everything up. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I am actually going to just head back on my own. Yeah, I don't want to make you guys sit here and watch this, especially because I might end up having to like reload and shit if I get killed by a boar or something. So I'll go ahead and just kind of travel. If I see something interesting, I'll pop back in. I'll see you back in just a sec. All right, so we're back. We're at home. I went ahead and all night I just got wood. I went and got wood. I got stone and I built the resource area. So we do have the resource now, the resource storage. So this is a level 1 resource storage right next to my house, which remember I'm going to eventually replace with our shop because I'm going to build a bigger house later. Let's be honest. And I was able to build us our very first like work area. This is for making planks and shit like that. So what we can do is once we have someone who actually lives with us, we can assign someone here and they can cut wood for us. That'll be important in the winter, not so much right now, but it will be very important come winter time. So that's what I did. I went ahead and left a bunch of stuff behind. I am going to, just for the fuck of it, leave the hammer again. I'm also going to leave the wooden hoe here. We don't need those. So that's what we're going to do. I am real quick too just going to change my knife to this iron knife so that I can use that up since it is almost dead. All right, so we are currently running back to Gustovia. I'm going to go ahead and break in if anything interesting happens, but less likely it will because we've been to pretty much all these places already, and we've run this road quite a few times. I'm going to go ahead and just meet you back when I get there, though, and then we can kind of go forward with Unigoth's story and finish everything then. I'm pretty sure we've already seen this. Yeah. All right, so I'll see you back in just a sec. So we are just outside of Gustovia. Now, in the past, when I have come and done the clay deposits near here, I have gotten jewelry and stuff. So I wanted to go ahead and, oh, wow, okay. Sorry, I just randomly stopped and I was like, I think we're near the clay, and we're right next to it. So I wanted to go ahead and actually look through here. I mean, worst comes to worst, we just get a bunch of clay, but we can always sell some stuff since we're so close to Gustovia. But I was hoping that maybe we might find something in here. Oh, nothing so far. One time, the very first like time I ever went and dug up a clay deposit, it was before I talked to Sambor. I came over here and did it, and I found an extremely nice piece of jewelry hidden in the clay, and I was like, sweet, it was worth so much money, it was so worth it. All right, I am gonna pick up these mushrooms real quick. Sorry, I know I'm like, I'm gonna do all this stuff off screen, and then I keep doing it on screen. Sorry. This is realistic though to how I play games, so in case you're wondering, yes, I did take my ADHD meds today, so this is me medicated. I still can't make up my mind of what I'm doing. I do love how there's just randomly some bugs every once in a while. I really like this game. Like, I don't know what it is about this one. I really wish Wild West Dynasty would have been better. If you didn't see my video about Wild West Dynasty and how disappointing it is, I encourage you to go check it out. It is really heartbreaking that that game is so bad. And it's also one of those, like, they may never fix it. It may just always be that bad. And that sucks. That really, really sucks, because it has so much potential. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and, while we're here, let's just eat these. Ooh, they're fucking with us. We probably shouldn't have eaten those. Where's my morale mushrooms? The problem is I'm gonna get myself nice and poisoned. That's okay. We can find some. I don't have any St. John's wort. I can find some. Poisoning just fucks with us is the problem. Alright, see, eating some mushrooms, blah, blah, blah. Yep, we need St. John's wort now. Alright. We will find some. Not that worried. There's some right next to Gustovia. Oh, shit. Okay, here. See? Good shit in here. Problem is we're becoming over encumbered. Alright, we'll have to come back. There's no way I can keep going. I mean, already look how much shit I've got on me. Alright. Let me do this. Let me try to do some things to reduce my load. I'm already over encumbering myself. And then we will pretty much immediately head over to Gustovia. Ooh, doing a good job of lightening my load, am I? Oh, we gotta do what we gotta do. That's one reason not to eat, or not to use, excuse me, the unripe berries. There is a quest eventually that asks you to go get unripe berries, and it turns out you can turn them into a drink. I'm going to be honest, I don't do a lot of cooking in this game. I kind of let my villagers do that because I don't really enjoy cooking. But, yeah, to each his own. Alright, I'm going to just rush over there. I will be right back. Sorry.